In today's society, you will have to learn to work or you will become homeless. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Holes Jr., and I will be introducing myself by telling you how I learned to work. I would have to say that it was a learning process that I had to go through. I will tell you how I was when I first started working, when I learned the importance of working, and my view on working today. Now that you know what I will be talking about, let's start with how let's start with my first time working with my father. The first time I worked with my father on the job site, he told me that one day you would have to provide for a family. That means that you're gonna have to put food on the table, put clothes on their back, put shoes on their feet. So that means you gotta get up and go out and go to work. Now, I'm being a 12-year-old. The first thing that came to my mind was that I don't have a wife, no children. That's the furthest thing from my mind. Little did I know, having that attitude made it hard for me to learn how to work. Would you guess that it took me 3 months to learn how to cut grass in a straight line with a push lawnmower? I broke so many lawnmowers that I was sure that my dad would stop teaching me and would just let me be. But I was wrong. He would always say that it doesn't matter if you want to be outside or not. You're not going to sit up in the house in my AC and start and becoming lazy. It was like I was being forced to work. There were days where I would do so many things wrong, get frustrated, and I just wasn't working properly. And I thought to myself that work was just for men that had to provide for a family. We just finished talking about how I was when I was younger and my thoughts on working. Now I will tell you how I matured and realized how important it was for me to learn how to work. My senior year in high school, I started to realize that you needed money to survive in this world. I needed a cap and a gown, yearbook, and all other things that most seniors want to have. But those things wasn't free and I had to work for them. By this time, even now, I still didn't like working, but I was able to realize that I had to work and was able to actually go on job sites and cut the yards by myself and do a complete job without my father even being there. I have talked about how I was when I first started working and when I realized that it's important to work. Now I will tell you where I stand today on the terms of working. My views on working has changed. I have learned that through all the yelling that my dad was doing, he was only teaching me how to become a man. Some of the things that he taught me will save me money in the future whenever I get my own house. My dad has taught me how to be a great handyman and a jack of all trades. And sometimes I still hate to work, but I see now the real importance that it is to work. Now that you know where I stand on working, let's conclude. To conclude my speech, I would have to say that I have learned over the time that working is important in many ways than one, and there is a learning process that you have to go through that will not happen overnight. Lastly, always remember that when you work for something, it will mean that much more to you than when someone just gives it to you. Thank you for your time.